pause for thought and join in the barking with Darren Rowe on The Mindful Dog.
It's coming up to Halloween and it's almost that horrible time of the year for dogs, which is Guy Fawkes night. So join us on the Weekend Live with Carly Flynn and we'll tell you everything you need to know to make sure your pet's safe and secure over this festive period.
What are you doing for Halloween? Are you off to a party? Are you taking the kids trick-or-treating? Whatever you're up to, it can be a lot to digest for our furry friends, especially as well with Guy Fawkes around the corner and all those fireworks blasting left, right and centre. To talk about how to best look after man's or woman's best friend is canine behaviourist Darren Rowe, who joins me now. Darren, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, Wilhelmina?
Good, thank you. Have you got anything exciting planned for your Halloween?
We're out in the middle of nowhere, so we very rarely get any visitors. So the dog's just going to be indoors, probably some special treats or something like that to keep him busy.
Oh, nice. And how many dogs do you have?
We've only got a couple. We've only got 8.
Only 8? Oh my goodness. What type of dogs do you have?
So we've got Irish setters and border collies, the red setters, great big ones.
Yeah.
And lots of border collies. So yeah.
Oh, I love border collies. They're such a sweet-natured dog.
They are beautiful. And you're quite a cat person. Listening to you.
That must not be music to your ears. I am a bit of a cat person.
We do have 2 cats as well. So.
Oh, I'm very glad to hear. The thing is if I ever got a dog, I think it would be a cute little, like a dachshund or something. They're kind of like almost like a cat dog.
Oh, they're hard work, dachshunds.
Are they?
Yeah, they're beautiful dogs. No, beautiful dogs.
They are. They're so lovely. And for Halloween, if people want to, I know some people like to dress up their dogs. They make a spectacular hot dog for Halloween.
They do, yeah. Just be a bit careful when you start putting things on dogs' nose, especially some of those sort of short-nosed dogs, because they can get overheated really quickly, the brachyphilic ones. So the sort of pugs and that kind of thing. Just be a bit careful because you can get them overheated and then they can sort of collapse and things like that.
Oh, poor wee things. And on that note, I mean, Halloween is obviously a bit of a hectic time for a lot of neighbourhoods. There's a lot of kids, a lot of unknown people coming into dogs' homes and territories. And I mean, how's the best way to deal with that? And what was it really like for a canine who obviously wants to protect the home that they live in?
Yeah, so for me it's safety first always. I mean, we've only just got to take the last week really with all the things that have been going on. We don't want our dogs to be in the front garden when people are coming in. Don't use your dogs to stop people from coming in, because people will still come in and then your dog's got to deal with it. So I'd say just put your dog in the back garden if you can. Put them inside, that's the best place. And that way you're never going to have any issues with your dog jumping and trying to bite children, that sort of thing, yeah. So certainly not something you want to do.
And I suppose, it is a bit hard, and I guess in terms of disciplining, I mean, the dog is only really doing what is natural. It's protecting its territory and it's protecting its owners. I mean, how do you kind of manage a dog's behaviour so that you're not telling them off for doing what they do best?
Yeah, well, most of the time we want them to stop strangers from coming in, don't we? And then suddenly around Halloween, then it's okay. I personally say don't even bother trying. Just put your dog somewhere safe. Just don't let them even deal with that at all. It's much safer. They can't distinguish between the two. And the resulting effects, if they get it wrong, are not going to be in favour of the dog, are they? So, yeah, definitely.
I know you kind of touched on it just before with the old hot dog costumes. I know some people like to really get into it, and I know often people do feel a bit sad and sorry for some poor wee pups that are subjected to dress like bumblebees. Or I saw a great one, I think, on the internet a few years ago. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Miley Cyrus song Wrecking Ball.
Yep,
and she's on a wrecking ball, and there was a pug who had a wrecking ball costume with a Barbie on top of it. So it was Wrecking Ball Pug. What's the best and safest way to go about this? I mean, I know it's a bit of fun, but it might not be so fun for the pooch.
No, so if you were going to be, if your dog's going to have to wear a costume, and I'm not a great believer of dogs wearing costumes because it changes their whole body language and then other dogs can't read them properly. But if you're going to do that kind of thing, then don't just suddenly throw it on them. Do a bit of training around it. It's a bit like wearing a harness. When you train to wear a harness, you take it. Take it slowly and you give them lots of treats. So don't just before you go out, shove this costume on your dog's head. It's likely to get scared and it's likely to bite you. So train it. Do a bit of training a couple of weeks beforehand or a few days beforehand if you're going to do that sort of thing. But personally, nah, just let it be a dog. Dogs are quite scary enough as they are. They don't need to dress up, do they?
No, not at all. What about some kind of accessories alternative? A funky leash or a funky collar or something? Would that be a happy medium?
I reckon that would be the best thing. You can get some really amazing things you can hang off the collars and the leads, can't you? So yeah, that to me would be a better option. And spend the time dressing yourself up. Way more fun.
Exactly. Invest all that time, money and hard work into putting together your best trick-or-treating outfit. Now, obviously, Guy Fawkes is just around the corner. I think it's on Thursday, and it's not just scary for dogs, it's scary for cats, it's scary for any pets. You know, you've got these loud bangs. It's not a normal time for them. How do you best manage their behaviour and make sure that they're nice and safe?
Yeah, so the first thing is that anything I'm saying now really applies to cats and dogs pretty much, because they both can get scared of those noises. So in an ideal world, we'd love to socialise our dog and get them used to that sort of fireworks. You can get tapes nowadays, or you can get CDs, that kind of thing, MP3 downloads, and you play those in the background for dogs to get used to. But obviously some dogs are scared of it now, and we need to sort it out now. So the most important thing I would say is to keep your dog inside. I see so many dogs running around outside when the fireworks are there, and it's too late by then. They've already got scared. So keep them in just before the sun sets. So get them in just before the sun sets, then you can start to prepare everything for them. You don't want to give them run of the house, because if they get scared, they're just going to go tearing around. The more they do and the more they run around, the more excited they get, and therefore the more scared they get. Yeah. So keep them in a confined area, but just like one room. I remember listening on the internet and someone saying put them in a crate. I don't believe in putting them in a crate and closing the door, because if you think about when animals get scared, particularly dogs, they go into flight or fight. And if you close the door, you've taken one of those options away from them, so they can't flight. And then if you go and put your hands in there, then they're likely to they may well bite you because they're so scared. And that's the only option they've got. So don't close your crate door, yeah.
Is there any kind of sort of reassuring gestures that you can do for them? Give them treats or anything around dinner time, just to kind of ease that? Yeah,
so we always sleep on a heavy stomach, don't we? So I'd feed your dog a little bit more, just so they've got a bit more in their belly, then they're likely to fall asleep. But you can get those great toys. Have you heard of them, the Kongs? They don't have them for the cat world, I don't think, but you can put all the treats in the Kongs and freeze them and then throw them on the floor, and then they can sort of start to chew that. Chewing for a dog relaxes them, they fall asleep and they de-stress kind of thing. The other thing you can do with a dog is console them. Now there's quite a lot of information about whether you cuddle dogs. I don't like cuddling dogs when they're scared, and there's two reasons. Some people say that it's a great thing because you're consoling the dog, but when you cuddle them, it's a bit like the crate. You're sort of restricting their motion, and then they've only got those two options. They can only fight, they can't flight. So I don't like cuddles for that reason, because they may well try and get away and bite you as they do that, because remember, they're going to be really scared, yeah? But just being confident around them. Oh, good dog, some really positive praise, lots of treats. You being confident yourself, your emotional state's been proven to help the dog. So if you're confident and not worried, then the dog will be confident and not worried.
Absolutely. And just really quickly, we've only got about a minute before the midday news. I've just had a question in. Could you please ask Darren how I can get my 4-month Samoyed pup to walk without a fight? He's dragging me. She's dragging me. She was attacked 4 weeks ago. Has been so bad she now cries when out of sight. Is there any sort of quick little tidbit of advice there?
Very quick. Give me a ring or email me, but you do need to see a canine behaviourist, because that issue is not going to get any better. It's going to get worse, because it's all fear-based.
Absolutely. Hey, thank you so much for that, Darren. Really appreciate your time. Have a fantastic weekend.
Thank you, Wilhelmina.
You've been listening to Darren Rowe on The Mindful Dog, giving our canine friends a voice throughout the world. To find out more about what we do, visit our website at www.mindfulnessfordogs.com.